All right, crack open a tepid Genesee and watch the pictures as they travel through your neighbor's Wi-Fi. It's the Rees Company. I'm the Bull of American Broadcasting, alongside the great Chris Morganti. And we have a lot of exciting things to share with you tonight. In a moment, we're going to bring back a bit we haven't done in quite a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been about a month.
And it's one of our favorites.
Okay.
And we also have a movie of the week you're going to be sure to be riveted by. It's called...
I don't remember. It was such an odd title. I don't recall.
Violation of Trust.
Okay.
AKA She Says She's Innocent.
Yeah, that. I didn't realize it had an alternate title.
It did, yeah.
That makes a hell of a lot more sense and would have been a much better title. But okay, Violation of Trust it is.
All right. Well, you want to get right into this?
Sure.
As mentioned at the top of the program this week, the movie of the week is Violation of Trust.
Yeah.
AKA She Says She's Innocent.
Yeah.
It aired on October 28th, 1991.
Right.
And there's very little information about this movie. In fact, I don't know what network it aired on.
Oh, I did see that. I believe it was NBC.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, thank you, Chris. It stars Katey Sagal.
Of Married with Children fame.
Yeah, that's probably her best known role.
Peggy Bundy.
Yeah. She plays a character called Susan Essex.
Mm-hmm.
Susan has a daughter called Justine. Justine is played by a young actress named Charlotte Ross.
Yeah.
Now, you recognize Charlotte Ross, or you developed an interest.
I definitely did not recognize her. This is the movie poster, and she looked like somewhat familiar, but I don't know. I was interested in what else she would be in. She's very pretty. She did a decent job in this movie. I thought maybe she had a career. Turns out she did have quite a career. Her IMDb page, she's been in tons of TV shows. NYPD Blue shortly after this. I don't know, a lot of stuff. But the thing that she was in almost immediately after she made this movie really caught my attention, Steve.
Yeah.
Because, and you may not remember this show, it was only on the air for 3 months. It was called The Heights. And it was basically a bunch of young, people in their early 20s who are, they form a band. And I don't know where this took place. I don't know.
I think L.A. I'm not sure, but it might have been a spinoff of 90210.
I think you're thinking of Melrose Place because I'm looking at the clothes they're wearing, and that doesn't seem like L.A. to me. But who knows? They're dressed very warmly, is all I'm saying.
All right.
But anyway, the interesting thing about this, and you'll see her. She's the third from the left there. That's Charlotte Ross, who's the star of this movie. Even though this TV show was only on for 3 months, it achieved something very, very notable. They wrote a theme song for it, and that theme song was sung by, looks like second from the right there, Jamie Walters. He was the lead singer here.
Yeah. Because this is a show about a band, a fictional pop band.
And he plays the lead singer in the band. He also has a great voice. He sounds like Bryan Adams.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your impression of his vocal style.
I get that you wouldn't have that impression based on the song.
Musical talent?
Which is How Do You Talk to an Angel?
Yeah.
Which went to number 1.
Yeah.
It went to number 1 on the Billboard chart. And yes, he does not sound like Bryan Adams in that song, but he went on to release later albums, and he very much develops that sound later on.
So you're a fan?
I do, and there's a couple of songs that he does that I really enjoy, yeah.
Where are you hearing these songs?
On YouTube, where I replaced my stereo with YouTube.
But you had to seek out, what's his name, Jamie Walters' songs?
Yep, I sure did.
For what reason?
I like Catch Me. That's a good one. From his third album. But most people remember him, of course, as Ray Pruitt from Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who pushed Donna down the stairs. Is any of this ringing a bell to you?
I watched maybe the first season, second season.
Well, what happened was, after they had their number one hit with this show, and Charlotte Ross, the star of the movie we're about to watch, she sung backup vocals on that recording. So she actually has a gold record out of all this. So that's how this is all relevant to what we're about to talk to. But as an aside, the guy who sung lead on that song played, after this show got canceled, Atlantic Records signed him to a deal because, he just had a #1 hit, right? He goes on to have another big hit with a song called Hold On. And at that point, Aaron Spelling signed him to be on Beverly Hills 90210. And he played a songwriter on the show, so he would play his music on the show. It all kind of worked. Initially, he was like an outsider character. He wasn't rich like the other characters. But then they decided to make him an abusive boyfriend, and he shoved Tori Spelling's character down a flight of stairs in one episode. And then things took a turn for him, Steve. He would go to concerts and get booed as the guy who pushed Donna down the stairs. So people no longer wanted to hear the music based on a character he played on a TV show. And it's a shame. The guy was a really good actor. And like I said, he had a great voice. He reminds me of Bryan Adams. Everything kind of went to hell for him. He now works as a paramedic in I don't know where. But
well, that's a shame. All because he was portrayed as an abusive boyfriend.
That's where things seem to go wrong.
While playing a fictional character.
Yep.
Well, Chris, you mentioned How Do You Talk to an Angel, and that was the #1 hit for the Heights. It was the theme from the self-same program.
Well, no, the program was the Heights. It wasn't How Do You Talk to an Angel.
Yeah, the Heights.
Right.
It was the theme from the Heights.
I'm sorry. When you said you confused me there. I'm sorry.
Well, that song was a massive hit in the fall of '92. Now, I've spoken before about Rocket Man, the Elton John, Bernie Taupin song,
right?
That I consider one of the worst ever. But my issues with that song are mainly lyrical.
Right.
It has some redeeming qualities, and most of those redeeming qualities are attributed to Elton. But I consider How Do You Talk to an Angel to be the absolute worst, biggest hit ever. Nothing about it is good. At least Rocket Man had the decency not to top the charts.
All right. I mean, that's a bold statement. Worst #1 ever?
Yes.
Because I looked up what was the last #1 hit before this that was a TV theme. You want to harbor a guess at that one, Steve?
TV theme.
Don't take too long.
I won't take too long. Just tell me.
It's the Miami Vice theme song.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
Really?
Jan Hammer?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's pretty bad.
I like a good synth.
You know what one was before that? Sugar Sugar by the Archies.
Sugar, sugar.
I mean,
Not a bad record. Ron Dante.
All right.
Fantastic pop song.
I mean, I don't see How Do You Talk to an Angel as being any worse than any of that, but whatever.
Well, I can explain. I don't like the fake rasp in the vocals that meant to convey a depth of feeling.
No, that's actually how he sounds,
He's
though.
so sensitive. And the chorus, which most of you would recognize, but probably don't even know it's from a TV show. The chorus is the worst. How do you talk to an angel? How do you hold her close to where you are?
All right, well, you're not getting the context, Steve.
To where you are?
See, the context is that he wanted to talk to the girl who was a saxophone player in the band.
Right.
And the only way he could do that was to write a song for that band to perform, and then they ask him to join.
Well, he should have written a better song.
All right.
Who talks like that? How do you hold her close to where you are? Anything you're holding, Chris, is where you are.
Right. Well, I feel like he really came into his own in his later albums. Hey, Jim.
Well, good for him, but none of those records top the charts.
What are some of them
This is
other
the
Jamie
one that
Walters
did.
songs we like? Catch me.
But that line is very lazy. How do you hold her close to where you are? It's strictly there to force the rhyme with falling star.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. And he sings it with such phony emotion. It's embarrassing to listen to. So, yeah, Charlotte Ross, the daughter in the movie we're about to take a look at, she appeared in The Heights. She also has a previous connection to Katey Sagal. Did you know about this?
I did know about this.
She was considered for the role of Kelly Bundy in Married with Children.
Yeah.
And, of course, they went with Christina Applegate. Anything you'd like to add before we start?
In her Wikipedia, it says that she was the second choice. But, I mean, how do you prove that? There could be 1,000 girls out there saying that. Let's just say she auditioned.
Well, she did play a guest role in the show as one of Bud's classmates.
Oh, well, there you go.
So They liked her enough to bring her back for that.
Fair enough.
So I would say that she may have indeed been the second choice.
Well, maybe it was after she had a gold hit with How Do You Talk to an Angel?
See, if I were in charge of showbiz, that song, everybody would have been blacklisted. Anyone who participated in the production, the vocals, the saxophone.
Well, in Jamie Walters' case, that's what happened anyway. So,
all right, so let's dive right into this. A violation of trust, a.k.a. she says she's innocent. Susan Essex, that's Katey Sagal's character.
Peggy Bundy.
Yeah. She's separated and soon to be divorced from her husband. She's also pregnant. I don't know if you knew this, Chris, but Sagal was actually pregnant at the time in real life.
Yeah, it's very obvious that was not originally part of the script because it's never mentioned ever.
Right.
I think at one point they kind of like where I think Katey Sagal actually had like a legitimate like labor pain or whatever, not a labor pain, but whatever you have during pregnancy. And that's the only time it ever comes up.
Yeah. And that baby, unfortunately, was a stillbirth.
Oh, shit. That's sad.
Well, Susan, she's a librarian. And an old friend who she dated in high school shows up while she's at work. He's a police officer, and he's there to do an anti-drug puppet show.
Sure.
When you expecting?
4 months.
You look great.
Oh, thanks.
I'm here to do the Just Say No program.
I'm here to sniff out drugs of all kinds. Ha! What's in your pocket, officer? Ha!
Don't do that. Come on, deputy dog.
Ah, just as I thought. Breath spray.
All right, I'm gonna leave you all with a question now. Some kid at your school asked you to try drugs. What are you gonna say? No! Oh, come on, I can't hear you. No! All right, good. All right, thank you very much.
Chris?
I feel like this is a good time to bring up the anti-drug puppet show that I've been doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, kids. Don't do drugs. I'm still working on it. We'll be back with more.
Well, sadly, in that clip, that's the same deputy dog who was later charged with evidence tampering for reburying skeletal remains in the police department lawn. Now, we're about to meet Susan.
By the way, he is actually a detective. So he's actually doing cosplay there, I think.
He appears to have been promoted off camera.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay. All right.
It's never mentioned, but suddenly he's in a suit and he's part of homicide.
Yeah, like the next day.
Yeah. So Susan's daughter, Justine, she's caught in bed with her boyfriend by Susan. Her boyfriend's name is Ryan. This leads to a heart-to-heart between Susan and her daughter, Justine.
Relationships change. Even you go through changes, honey. I mean, for instance, Ashley hasn't been over lately.
Ashley is a boring brainer.
I see. Since when is getting good grades a felony?
Well, maybe I'd be more like Ashley if you were more like Ashley's mom. Still married.
Chris?
Okay. Yeah, now, as you can imagine, my reaction at this point was less than positive.
Sure.
But as I learned more about their whole situation, I realized they're all pieces of shit. So there's no reason to harbor any ill feelings about anyone because of anything they say in this scene.
You don't like anybody in this movie?
No, not at all.
Really? You don't find any of the characters likable? Or
Which one would I
want to root for?
If I point out why I don't like anyone, it's going to spoil the whole damn thing. So.
Well, then perhaps we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
So that friend of Justine that Susan just mentioned, Ashley, she has some concerning information for Justine regarding Ryan, Justine's boyfriend, and a popular girl named Vicky Gilmore.
Hi. I have something to tell you. I need to get my books, all right?
Fine. If that's the way you feel, maybe I just won't tell you. But I would if we were still best friends. It's about Vicky and Ryan.
What? What about them?
Nothing.
What?
You're doing it behind your back, Justine.
I don't believe it. You're lying.
Heather saw Vicky buy an EPT. She asked her about it. They're in typing together. Vicky said she came up pink. You remember when you and Ryan were having problems? Okay, well, that's when it started. Now Ryan's gonna be a daddy.
Yeah.
It's very Mean Girls-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be rumor, could be spite, it could be jealousy.
Yeah.
It could be true.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminded me of the movie Mean Girls, but sadly, not as funny.
Well, Eric, that's the name of the police officer we met earlier.
Hey, Steve, you want to come over to my house and smoke some doobies?
No, thank you, Jesus.
Oh, what are you, a square? No. We're anti-drug. So I'll be back.
We're still working it out.
Yeah, he's
it seems like the puppet is the one who needs to work it out. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's-
understand the premise.
Yeah, he's a little bit confused.
Yeah.
To be honest, maybe that's because I only told him 2 minutes ago that we were doing this. That's probably why.
Right. So Eric, the police officer from earlier, he asks Susan out on a date, and she agrees. Justine makes plans with someone over the phone.
Now, you're talking about Peggy Bundy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Susan.
Okay.
Justine is Charlotte Ross, her daughter in this.
Yeah. Well, they're celebrating his promotion from an hour ago.
It's not made reference to at all. No. He shows up a detective at one point, and nobody says anything.
Not congratulations. Like,
well, no,
you know what?
No congratulations. Maybe they wanted to bring out a cake.
Yeah.
But he told them in advance, I don't want any of that. It'll set off my ADD or whatever. All right. So Eric and Susan go out on a date. Justine and Ashley, it turns out, they plan on confronting Vicky about seeing Ryan behind Justine's back. This happens at the Essex household.
And Ryan is supposed to be the girlfriend of the main character.
Right.
Or the boyfriend, I mean.
Right. Justine.
Ashley is a pathetic liar. I'm not sleeping with your boyfriend.
Yeah, like she's gonna come right out and admit it.
Since when did my sex life become your business, you loser?
Justine deserves to know the truth.
The truth is, you're so jealous of me, you lie about anything. Don't you see what she's doing? She's trying to mess with our heads. She's jealous of you and she's jealous of me.
You're the one that hit on her boyfriend.
What if Ryan hit on me, huh? What if he hit on me?
So it's true then? It's true?
So he's hot for me. Is that a crime? He's not your property, Justine. Guys lie and they cheat and they have sex in dirty places.
So do you, Vicky.
What do you know about anything? Make me! Stop it, Vicky! Stop it! Oh my God!
You okay? You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vicky speeds off.
Yeah. Sex in dirty places?
Yeah, that's what she said.
I don't know where they're going with that. I mean, if it's dirty, isn't that your fault? Never mind.
All right. Well, Vicky, she pulls away at speed.
Right.
And Justine and Ashley, they follow her in Justine's vehicle. They catch up with her in a wooded area as Susan awaits Justine's return. Let's take a look.
Peggy Bundy.
Yeah.
Whoops. Now, she did not hear that. She heard something else.
Right.
I don't know why they chose to do it that way. It's
Yeah,
kind of
these
artistic.
aren't simultaneous
Where have you
events.
been?
Kind of
You're
artistic.
supposed to
but
leave
kinda
me a
confusing,
note.
too.
Ashley and I went to a movie. We talked for a while.
But you're supposed to leave a note.
I'm sorry.
Justine, what happened?
Someone yanked my earring out and pee. I feel lucky.
What hit you?
Mom, stop fussing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks pretty bad, huh?
I mean, I've never had an earring yanked out, but it seems like that'd be a pretty serious injury. I don't know, depending on how much of the earlobe is removed.
Yeah, and
don't know.
she was bleeding.
Yeah. And No, you just like you go to schools and talk about not using drugs and No, you're not going to have to take a piss test. It's all good, dude. All right, how about you just enjoy the show. Sit over there. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, not a problem. You have to work this out because this could be this could be like a lot of comics have corporate gigs.
Right.
This could be your version of that.
Yeah.
It's an untapped market.
Yeah. Well, I do love public service.
And whatever you need to do to get this act together,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. So Justine, she wakes up screaming from a nightmare. And Susan goes to her daughter's room to confront her as Justine, in a panic, keeps saying, I didn't mean to do it. But not like that. She doesn't say it gruffly. It's more like I didn't mean to do it. In the morning, a TV news report airs on Vicky's disappearance. Justine and Ashley fret that day in the school cafeteria. Ashley says if they stick to their story, they have nothing to worry about. That story is that they went to the movies and did not encounter Vicky that night at all.
Yeah. And when they tell the cops they went to the movies, the cops don't ask what movie they saw.
That's very bizarre. That's a move that they would do. They would definitely do that. Yeah. Try to cooperate what the movie was. Yeah. And also, they would ask them plot details as well, typically.
Yeah. But then again, this is his first day on the job, so.
Yes. So Ann Gilmore, she's Vicky's mother, the missing girl, and Vicky's stepfather, Raymond Gilmore, they appear on a local news program with a zero-context public appeal to help find their missing teen, who is somehow named Vicky Gilmore.
It happens.
All right, quiet, everybody. 15 seconds to take.
Now remember, to personalize her, use her first name as often as you can.
I'll be right here for no reason.
My stepdaughter, Vicky, is a caring, trusting girl. If anyone has knowledge of Vicky's whereabouts, please get in touch with her mother and me. We miss Vicky very much. We're prepared to offer a substantial reward for any information leading to Vicky's whereabouts. Vicky is very special.
Vicky was wearing black jeans and a denim shirt and a white sweater the night she left our house.
Yeah, that white sweater is still at Justine's house. And Susan finds it and asks Justine about it. She says it's Ashley's.
Right. Ashley is the friend who they're cooking up this scheme together.
Right.
To not tell the cops what really happened.
Yes. The two suspects, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
As far as we know at this point,
they're the two suspects.
They appear to be the suspects. So now a man is seen running through the woods. Now, I don't know if he's running for his health or he's being chased by the rest of his Dire Straits tribute band. But he makes the obvious discovery. Let's see this.
Yeah. You got to assume he takes this run every morning, right, Steve?
That's probably his regular route.
Yeah, you would think so. He's probably used to the trail and everything. Knows his way around.
Yeah, if there was something abnormal, he would take notice of it.
Yeah. Oh, duh.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. That might have been something new that appeared there as a result of his body. Yeah, so I wonder if he tried to give her CPR, but gave up when he realized that ain't working.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the way you do it.
So he notifies authorities, and they find a loose earring stuck to Vicky's shirt. A teacher announces to Justine's class that Vicky has been found dead. Justine leaves the class in a vomitous huff, and the school nurse sends her home. So Vicky's parents, the missing gal, the newly found dead gal, they're speaking with detectives, one of which includes the newly promoted Eric.
Yeah.
About when they last saw Vicky, which they probably should have asked when they reported her missing.
Yeah.
That was bizarre. So they tell the investigators that Vicky had gone to visit a classmate called Justine, and she was not happy as she left the house.
Now, who's Justine? I'm lost.
Justine is the daughter of Susan Essex.
Well, who told her? Who said she was going in there to that house?
Vicky's parents.
Oh, Vicky's parents. Okay. Vicky is the victim.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Oh, that at least is easy. All right.
See Vicky Gilmore the day she disappeared.
Yeah, I saw her at school, 6th period.
Did she happen to mention what she was going to be doing that night?
No.
What were you doing?
My best friend came over, Ashley Packard, and we watched TV.
Mm-hmm. You didn't leave the house.
Well, there was nothing on TV, so we went to the movies.
What were you doing the night of May 5th?
I went out to dinner with a friend.
Which was him.
Yeah, she was out with him.
Yeah.
So you'd have no way of knowing if Vicky Gilmore was here or not.
If my daughter says she wasn't, she wasn't.
Well, that'll hold up in court.
Mrs. Gilmore thought she might have been heading to your house.
To my house? Well, she never got here.
Yeah.
So in the modern age with cell phones, they would just know everywhere you'd been, right?
Yeah.
As long as you had your phone with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which most people always do.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that anybody got convicted of anything.
Yeah.
Before cell phones and before DNA.
Yeah.
When you think about it, everything was circumstantial until like 1987.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably a lot of innocent people.
Tons.
Yeah.
Many of them executed.
Right.
Now we kind of have an understanding of where people are and what they're doing. But
Yeah.
man, oh man. So there's an autopsy on Vicky. And it reveals that her assailant crushed her head in with a rock.
Right.
Which we didn't see. Maybe they'll show us that later. She was also 3 months pregnant. And she kept a diary.
Well, we'd already heard that she had an EPT test. So
Yeah. And in that diary, she revealed a secret relationship with someone she identified in her writings only as R.
The letter R.
The letter R, yeah. Now, for those of you watching us and wondering when Mr. Furley's going to show up, R is the first letter in Ryan, which is the name of Justine's boyfriend.
Right.
So this seems to confirm the rumor that Ashley informed Justine.
Again, it's circumstantial, but yeah.
Yes. So Susan...
Peggy Bundy.
Yeah, she meets with Ashley's mother, Elaine, during which Susan tries to give back the sweater Justine claims was Ashley's.
Yeah.
Elaine tells Susan it's not her daughter's sweater. Ashley is allergic to Angora. Ryan, Justine's boyfriend.
Like, that's the thing. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Ryan is next questioned by authorities.
What was your relationship to Vicky Gilmore?
I didn't sleep with Vicky. We were just friends, that's all.
And when was the last time you saw her?
It was Friday at school. She was real down.
Why?
Well, her mom's an alcoholic. And my dad was too. We used to talk about it.
You planning to go to college, Ryan?
He's got a full scholarship to state.
So getting Vicky Gilmore pregnant would be real inconvenient. According to the notes in her diary, R wanted to get Vicky an abortion, but Vicky intended to have her baby no matter what R said.
Hey, I didn't even know she was pregnant, all right? She was my friend, that's it.
Yeah, it really bothers me. And we talked about this before the show. It bothers both of us that Ryan is holding a football during this chat.
Yeah. It makes it sound like if I were the detectives, I would be like, I'm not sure I believe his story about getting a scholarship to state.
He's just trying to drive it home.
He's holding a prop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, you walk around all the time holding a microphone, right?
I do.
Just to let people know. Oh, man.
Well, that is the only way they'd know, Steve. So let's be honest.
Oh, like, comment, subscribe, and share. So there were not cell phone pings at the time, but there were phone records. You could trace somebody's phone calls.
Sure.
And those phone records reveal contact between Justine's household and Vicky's household just hours before her death. Now, at this point, Justine lawyers up.
Yeah.
A neighbor across the street has told...
Wait, Justine is the girl.
Justine is the gal from the Heights.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Not Peggy Bundy.
Not Peggy Bundy.
That's Susie?
Susan
Susan Essex. Yeah. Got it.
So the neighbor across the street, she's kind of full of herself and a bit of a news bag.
News bag?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that term before. News bag.
Yeah, she's very newsy.
Okay. Well, that's news to me.
And she alerts the cops that she saw Justine's car parked outside the Essex household the night she disappeared. And she feels the need to tell Susan about this. So Justine's father hires the attorney that Justine requests.
Yeah.
And her parents, the detectives, and this attorney, they all meet up at the country club where her father is a member.
Yeah. Now, we've yet to see the father on screen here. I mean, we have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Our audience has not met the father just yet.
Yeah. And this strikes me as a weird setting for the discussion they're about to have. But
well, at this point, and we can talk about this in advance of watching the clip. At this point, I think it's more of putting Justine in an advantageous position. And the father even mentions when he sets this up, as it will show them what kind of influence he has.
Okay, I guess I missed that.
By being a member of this exclusive club.
Yeah, but I feel like this exclusive club would also have had a private room that you could have done this in. Not in the middle of a busy dining room, as we're about to see.
But I think it hinders anybody flying off the handle in an unreasonable way.
All right.
I
mean, that guy's been a detective 3 days longer than me, so he probably knows a lot more than I know.
So during this conversation, they let it be known that Justine is a suspect, and they've acquired a search warrant for the Essex family home. And during this search, an earring matching the one from the scene that they found pinned to
the victim's chest.
Vicky's chest,
Her shirt, yeah.
They recover the matching earring.
From her bedroom.
Yes. Justine is arrested under suspicion of murder, but soon released pending trial. Her attorney offers advice about those with whom she should have no contact during this time.
I'm sorry.
And common sense would dictate that you avoid Ryan Larson and Ashley Packard,
My boyfriend and my best friend?
who only happen to have the two best motives in this town. Oh, let me elaborate. Your boyfriend, Ryan Larson, gets Vicky Gilmore pregnant. And Vicky was obsessed with Ryan, refuses to get an abortion. And that doesn't exactly conform with Ryan's plans for his future.
That's the father.
Yeah.
Well, let's not forget Ashley Packard. Now, everybody knows that Vicky was mean to Ashley, that Vicky stole her best friend. Vicky was everything Ashley wanted to be. Beautiful, sexy, popular. Ashley Packard hated Vicky Gilmore.
But enough to...
I'm sorry, what was that adjective you just used between beautiful and popular? Could he have not just left it at beautiful?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in your roast of Ashley, you could have you just referred to a 16-year-old girl as sexy.
Yeah.
Of course Ashley was jealous of Vicky with her supermodel good looks, high cheekbones, great personality. Ashley, on the other hand, let's face it, used car dealership commercial looks at best. And Justine, darling, you ever hear of a push-up? Where did all that come from?
Yeah.
So, despite Justine being warned against this, Ryan stops by to see her, presumably on stilts.
Ryan, things are so bad. The preliminary hearing's coming up. My lawyer thinks there's enough evidence to put me on trial, circumstantial stuff.
Look, Justine, I was thinking that maybe we should tell the truth.
No, Ashley and I made a pact.
Come on, whose idea was that pact, huh? Whose idea? Why did Ashley tell you I was sleeping with Vicky? Did you ever ask yourself that?
Because she's my friend. She was helping me up.
Come on, she's setting you up, Justine. Look, listen to me, all right? Ashley hated Vicky. That's why she made up that story. Maybe she hated her enough to kill her. The pact to keep quiet was her idea. What has she got to lose, huh? I mean, the police can already prove that you were there. If we told the truth, they'd know that she was there, too.
And you? You were there, too.
Yeah, so Ryan was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
No.
Now, Elaine, She's Ashley's mother. She figures out that it was the victim's sweater Susan thought was Ashley's. So she confronts Susan, who says she no longer has the sweater. Elaine accuses her of evidence tampering and goes to the media about it. Now, the city council, known for their powers over library personnel, they decide to put Susan on leave of absence while she deals with her family crisis.
Yeah, she works in the public library. Yeah. Which is no place for Peggy Bundy to spend time. Everyone knows she likes her bonbons and her soap operas.
Well, Matthew, he's Justine's father. He has his attorney request, and maybe you can help me out with this because I'm really unclear about this aspect of it.
Okay.
He has his attorney request that charges against Justine be dropped on the grounds of prosecutorial misconduct.
Yeah, this part's pretty foggy.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened was they found out that Peggy Bundy was sleeping with the cop, detective, whatever.
Dating him. I mean, seeing him socially.
Yeah, they were just dating. Yeah, and somehow that ended up in the charges being dropped. I don't know. Yeah, it seemed just confusing to me as well.
It is very unclear, but the motion is successful.
Right.
And Justine is set free. And there's an after-release press conference with the prosecutor and the victim's family. Let's see this.
Prosecutor, do you have a statement for us, sir?
Yes, there is insufficient untainted evidence to bind Justine Essex to trial, and therefore the city of Clovis will drop charges in the murder of Vicky Gilmore.
What about Eric Riley, sir?
Eric Riley, the officer who is accused of procuring the tainted evidence, he'll be investigated by Internal Affairs.
Dr. Gilmore, how do you feel about the charges being dropped because of a sex scandal?
Criminal charges have been dropped. We intend to pursue a civil claim.
Wait, I have a statement. What kind of a system is this? A cold-blooded killer doesn't serve a day in jail because her mother sleeps with a cop. This is insane. What about my daughter?
Anything else? Please.
I mean, Steve, that woman is supposed to be an alcoholic who never gets out of bed, and somehow she's the only one making sense here.
But I'm still really unclear about this. So Eric, the detective that Susan is seeing.
Yeah.
He allegedly procured tainted evidence.
Yep.
That led to murder charges for Justine.
Right.
So because he's seeing her mother, isn't he just doing his job?
Well, yeah. And oddly enough, he's being investigated by Internal Affairs, and yet he continues to be on this case for the rest of the film.
Yeah. His
I don't know if that's how Internal Affairs works.
Regardless of what the prosecutor just said, none of his powers seem to have been taken away.
No,
We're
not
gonna
at
see
all.
a lot more of him.
Right.
It's very poorly laid out, and it also leads to no change in the relationship between Susan, Peggy Bundy,
right,
and Eric.
Right, yeah.
So the door of the Essex home is vandalized with the word murder.
Right.
Which appears to have been stenciled. Did you notice that?
Oh.
It's very fastidious.
Yeah. Well, it's written in red, like it's animal blood or something. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, Susan wants to call the police. Justine tells her not to because she brought this all on the family. Then this happens.
How is it your fault, Justine? You had nothing to do with the murder. You've told us that 1,000,000 times.
You hate me, don't you? Don't you?
Honey, I could never hate you.
You think I'm a killer?
I don't think that. Honey, I could never hate you.
Even if I did it?
I love you.
Even if I lied?
I love you.
Even if I'm the worst human being who ever lived on the face of this earth?
All right, well, now you're laying on pretty thick, but
yeah, you didn't write How Do You Talk to an Angel?
I love you.
I did it.
All this time, I've been asking you to tell me the truth. Why did you lie? Didn't you trust me?
Is this the violation of trust?
I was afraid you'd stop loving me.
It must be, right?
Like you stopped loving Dad.
No.
No.
Because it's a suspicion of a loss of trust. It's not a violation at all.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out where that comes into play.
Yeah, the title is really vague and doesn't really apply. Now, we should probably tell you that if our discussion of this film has aroused any interest in seeing it in its entirety, we suggest you do that before watching the rest of this episode.
Yeah.
Because there are spoilers a go-go from this point. Okay, has everybody left?
Yeah.
Ashley and I got Vicky to come over, and things got crazy really fast. Vicky started ranting and raving about how she couldn't trust me or anyone else. Everyone she ever knew betrayed her. It was like she went psycho. And then she drove off like a maniac. I mean, Ashley and I were afraid she'd kill herself or someone else on the road. So we
Now, it
followed
sounds
her
like
in my
she's
car.
lying right here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what we planned to do.
But now we see the footage.
Make sure
Yeah.
she was all right, I guess. And then she drove up into the mountains.
So I would say maybe it's just bad acting. It makes it sound like someone's lying. I don't know. This is meant to be a truthful story. Yes.
It was like she was looking for a head-on collision.
She's gonna kill herself! Justine, catch her! I am!
And then she must have seen us in the rearview mirror or something, because all of a sudden she turned left right into the trees. It was like she disappeared.
Okay, can we pause, Jim? Okay, they catch up with her.
Right.
Because she's driving recklessly.
Right.
They catch up with her. What do? I mean, how do you solve this? What's the strategy here?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's not well thought through.
Yeah, they're chasing her because she's driving recklessly, which they didn't know until she sped off.
Yeah.
She might have just wanted to leave in a haste and then calm down when she got to the first stoplight, but no.
Yeah.
They were concerned about her safety. All right, let's continue.
So, yeah, you're right. It doesn't make much sense that they're following after her.
Yeah, right.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, we assume initially that they're doing that because they want to beat the shit out of her.
Yes.
But that's not, we now learn that's not the case. So, yeah, there is no reason for them to be following her.
And we're about to learn even more about why beating the crap out of her or whatever is not the case.
Right.
That's not their intention. Let's see some more.
So Ashley and I pulled over and we ran after her.
Why were you looking for her?
To make sure she was all right.
Come here, give me your hand. You want me to help you, Vicky? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! What? I've got nothing. What? I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
Yeah, so she falls down the hill.
Yep.
And you remember what happens next?
She hits her head on a rock? I don't know.
Well, Justine and Ashley, what do?
I don't remember.
They go to get Ryan.
Oh, right.
Because they want him to help find Vicky.
Wait, but they know where she is.
Well, yeah, because they want to get her help. He has a flashlight. They can't exactly see where she fell.
Oh, right. Yes, they need a flashlight.
Yes, he owns a flashlight. So
Yeah.
they went to Ryan for his assistance.
Well, that adds up.
So they come back with Ryan, and they all split up to conduct their search. Now, there's only one flashlight, so I don't know. What did the other two people do?
Yeah.
They are not successful in locating Vicky. So, and bear with me, folks. You're going to be grateful. We have a lot to summarize before we get to the next clip.
Oh, boy. All right.
In fact, you might want to, do you want to do some of this, Chris?
No.
All right.
You know who does, though?
Oh, yeah.
So
It'll be good
start,
practice.
You start and, yeah. Go ahead. And he'll take over.
Okay, so the next day, Susan takes Justine to where Vicky's body was found. Justine is surprised because it's 5 miles from where Vicky fell down the hill.
Where are we at here? Justin leads her mother to the real scene of the accident. Several paces away, they find a bungalow. Maybe this is where the light was coming from that Justine says she saw that night. before it quickly went out. Or it could have been the light of the Holy Spirit. Have you folks read the Bible lately? Why not come over to my house and get high and we can read? All right.
See, this guy,
he's just not getting the concept.
He's not getting it. He's not getting it at all. I think you'll get there. It's going to take time. So, yeah, as the puppet just said, Justine leads her mother to the real scene of the accident. Several paces away, they find a bungalow. Perhaps this is where the light was coming from that Justine says she saw that night before it quickly went out.
Right.
The door to this place is unlocked, so they go inside, and the place is a mess. What do they find on the table?
A cassette tape.
And it's labeled "To Vicky from Ryan with Love."
Yeah.
So Susan and Justine leave.
And it contained the song, How Do You Talk to an Angel?
Well, they leave the
Oh, wait, was it a single? Maybe it was I'd Do Anything for Love. Who knows?
Well, as they depart, they come to believe that Ryan is responsible for Vicky's death. After all, it was he who insisted Ashley, Ryan, and Justine split up to find Vicky. Perhaps he found her and killed her without Justine's knowledge before calling off the search.
Right.
Susan believes there's an exoneratory...
Peggy Bundy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. She believes that Justine will be exonerated by Vicky's diary. All she wants to do is go through it. That diary is the one where she confessed about her relationship with a mysterious R.
Right. The first letter, R, being the name of...
Yes, referred to only as R.
Yeah.
And her hope is that the diary could provide further clues that perhaps the police missed as to who murdered her. So she calls Eric, who is somehow still knocking about the police department.
Right. I assume Internal Affairs told him to stay on a short leash. Don't go too far.
Well, Eric tells Susan that she need to get a release from Dr. Gilmore.
Right.
Vicky Gilmore's stepfather, again.
It happens.
If she wants to view the document, she has to get a release from Dr. Gilmore. So she figures he'll agree to this for many reasons. After all, not only may it prove her own daughter's innocence, it may also leave Raymond to her daughter's real killer.
His daughter's real killer.
To his daughter's real killer. You're correct. Yeah. To her surprise, he's resistant.
Yeah.
So she goes to his office anyway to try to reason with him, and specifically tells Justine not to contact her boyfriend, Ryan.
Well, yeah, because they think he's a murderer.
Yeah.
Right.
But Justine, she just can't help herself.
Well, yeah.
Ryan admits to recording the tape for Vicky, but he says the attraction was fleeting. But not in those words. There was something weird about her, he says. So Justine takes him to the scene of the accident. Let's see some of this.
Have you ever been here before, Ryan?
Yeah, I slid down this to look for her.
Yeah, that's right. You were alone with her down there where Ashley and I couldn't see you.
Yeah, that's right, I was alone. She wasn't down there, Justine, I swear.
The police didn't find her body here, Ryan. It was 5 miles up the road.
What?
Yeah, I know. So what happened to her body after she fell? Did she just get up and walk away by herself, or did someone else help her out of here?
You mean that when we came to look for her, she wasn't even here?
I don't know, Ryan. I don't know. For all I know, she fell. You found her and killed her, then came back and moved her body after we went home.
And you don't really believe that, do you?
Yeah. So Justine remains suspicious of Ryan,
Yeah,
regardless of what he just said.
And now we have an alternate theory for the murderer.
Yeah. So Justine goes ahead and leads Ryan to the bungalow, and he trips over a loose board at the entrance.
Yeah.
And that makes it clear to Justin that despite his tape being found at the location, Ryan is being honest about never having been there.
Yeah, because if you were used to going to a place often, you would never just fall flat on your face in the normal course. Oh, wait. No, we saw that earlier in the film. Never mind.
What the pair can't figure out is how Vicky's car left the scene of the crime. Her keys were never recovered. They decide that only a close family member would have a spare set. Here's another part that confuses me. They find a phone booth and for some reason Look up Dr. Gilmore in the white pages.
I don't recall why they were trying to do that. Yeah, I don't know.
There was nothing that indicated to me there was any motivation for this activity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
So let's see what happens next.
Gilmore James, Gilmore Dr. Raymond.
Raymond? That's his name. Wait a second. Remember the R in her diary? That could be her lover.
Her stepfather.
Oh, man, that's so
Oh,
sad.
no, my mother's with her right now.
Yeah.
So wait, Robert Goulet killed her?
Where are you getting that?
Isn't that what the name was?
Gilmore.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's kind of far away.
Dr. Raymond Gilmore.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to get a cameo.
The stepfather of Vicky Gilmore.
Oh, right. Wow, that's pretty seedy. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Justine, she's in the right place. She's in a phone booth. So she phones Eric. He's the first he was a police officer. Next he was a detective.
Yeah.
Then he was a detective on suspension.
Right.
And immediately an active detective. I guess once the cameras went off.
Yeah.
I don't know what occurred there. So she phones Eric. And at the same time, in Dr. Gilmore's office, Susan is having the same realization about who committed the murder. The doctor's walls, Chris, they're covered with artwork. You remember what they depict?
They depict the scene we just saw, the nice cabin by the lake.
Right. Self-signed paintings.
Yes, they are his own paintings. Yeah.
Of the lakeside scene from the vantage point of the bungalow.
Pretty arrogant move, by the way. Putting up your own paintings in your office waiting room. He's a doctor, right?
He's an arrogant guy. He's a psychopath.
That's true. He is an arrogant person, yeah.
And a sociopath. So let's see what happens next.
You seem very interested in my paintings.
Would you like to buy one?
Perhaps they remind you of someplace you've been.
Referring to the bungalow.
The building's empty. No one will hear you.
Oh, no. Wait, can we stop it?
Yeah.
Because, Steve, I don't know if I want to go any further. Are you telling me this is where the miscarriage happened?
No.
Oh, thank God, because that would be so tasteless of us to even imply something like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank God, now in clear conscience, we can move forward.
Let's do.
The R in the diary is you.
Vicky was coming to meet me to discuss termination of her pregnancy.
I mean, are you sure?
I heard the kids fighting in the woods. The two girls, later the boy. Each of them with a motive to kill her.
That light that Justine saw. That was you watching.
It was like a little lab experiment, wondering how they would turn on each other. Which of them would end up taking the blame?
You planned to kill her from the beginning?
No, of course not.
I rescued her, in fact.
We drove up the mountain, away from my cabin. I tried to reason with her. Having the baby was ridiculous. It would have ruined her life. And mine.
Yeah, so he then tries to kill Susan.
Are we not going to see that?
No, we're not going to see that.
Can we? Because it's only a couple seconds forward, and I think it's pretty sweet.
Well, they go back and forth between...
oh, it's not a couple seconds from here?
I don't think so. We can find it if you'd like to. Okay, here it is. Right here.
No, but, I mean... Nah, see, we lost it. Oh. But what happened was, all right. He had the picture frame in his hand like that.
Yeah.
Really, it was like 2 seconds later.
Okay.
He goes like this. He goes, boom, like a sweet backhand.
He smacks her...
Yeah, he's probably a member of that country club, too, because the backhand... I mean, it was...
Stellar.
I liked it as, whatever, the cinema... The way they set that up was
the
nice.
Fight choreography, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, but just that one move I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's realistic. It wasn't like Frankenstein kind of thing. I like that.
And his stepdaughter was also murdered by being hit in the head with a rock.
Yeah, right. So it's consistent.
So that's his move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is consistent with the character.
I mean, yeah, you could just go ahead. It's only a couple seconds. Don't worry about it, Jim. It's not that. We already described it.
You wouldn't listen. Things got out of hand.
Well, it was an accident. People will understand.
Nobody's going to know.
Yeah, I like that. Now, but we're sure that that was just a prop.
Yes, I don't think this production had any
later
adverse effect on her pregnancy.
I mean, after that, he's strangling her.
Yeah, he tries to smother her with a pillow.
I mean,
And what's also weird, the cops burst in, and he's still trying to smother her.
Right.
He doesn't let up when he hears the door open.
Yeah. No, but he does give a measure of surprise when they lay their hands on him. So, yeah, I don't know why I remember that, but that scene was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
Let me say, this turned out to be, I picked this movie not knowing anything about it, other than it had a shocking ending. But I did not know it was a murder mystery. And that's like my favorite genre of anything. I love murder mysteries. This is pretty textbook murder mystery-ish. And a lot of times the reveal scene is a lot nowhere near as good as that. So in terms of the reveal scene, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
As a longtime fan of the genre, that was a good reveal scene. We've all seen the ones like where, the detective is sitting there with every suspect sitting around them. And,
Right.
this was better than that. Usually is.
Especially when the two main characters are figuring out exactly what happened at the same time.
Yeah.
In different places.
Right.
That part I thought was that was a great aspect of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the police show up, they take him away, and the last thing that happens is cherubic cop George Nanarello gets screwed in the closing credits. Can we see this? Yeah, screw that guy.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, they clearly misspelled George.
Oh, yeah, I didn't pick up on that. I was stuck on cherubic cop.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, I don't
what
remember
the
a
hell?
character one would describe as a cherubic cop in this film.
Yeah, why not just? There's no other cop. He can't just be cop.
Phil.
Cherubic cop. Now I want to go back and rewatch this and find the cherubic cop.
Cherubic cop. Well, this still haunts George Nanarello's dreams because he had his big time in the spotlight, and they spelled his name incorrectly. And George...
I mean, we don't know that for certain.
No, we do because on IMDb...
Okay.
Not Jiroge Nararello. George Nararello is credited as appearing in this film.
Yeah.
Hey,
did somebody mention cherubs? I got a bunch of them waiting back at my place. We can all go back there. All right, stop. My God.
This it's turning into a disaster. I support it as an enterprise, but I'm not sure this is going to work out. It will take time. But, man, a lot of work is necessary. Shall we do the YouTube comment carrot of the week?
I mean, I hope you prepared for this because I found out that it had such a shocking ending, I did not read any of the comments while I was watching the movie, which is how I normally do it.
You didn't want it to be spoiled.
Right, and then I immediately forgot after the movie was over.
Well, I did see this one. I'll award it to this. It goes to someone called Fina Jamela Jean-Pierre. The comment is, "This is an awesome movie. I've seen it before, and I still didn't see the ending coming."
That is, wow.
I have good news for this woman, though. Pretty soon, in her doctor's waiting room, she may very well meet Bruce Willis. So, congratulations, Fina. Now, is there anything you'd like to add before we rate it?
You know what? I remember I did see this comment, and right below it was the same comment the next day, which is odd. She didn't remember leaving a comment.
Right.
All right. I guess we're about to wrap up here. Sorry.
You're fine. Everything's fine. Now, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you want to rate it first or shall I?
You know what? I'll go first, if you don't mind. I'm going to go ahead and give it 4. And I'm really starting to rate these things highly now.
4 Meredith Baxters.
4 Meredith Baxters, just because, it was a murder mystery. And like I said, I love that genre. And it didn't really disappoint in any way. So, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 3 out of 5. I found the twists very enjoyable. And even when the film led me to believe Justine was guilty, I didn't want her to be.
Yeah.
And it was satisfying to see that Todd Barry-looking dude be revealed as the killer.
He did look like Todd Barry. Yeah. That's funny. Okay. Do we have anything else for this week?
I don't think so, Chris. I think we're good. Anything you'd like to say before we go?
No, I think that's it.
Well, I do have a plug. I want to plug This Week in Charles Bronson, our friend Eric Todd.
Yes.
That's his show, where every so often, it's not weekly or daily.
Okay.
It's because they take the time to get the quality together.
Oh.
And they put things up when they're ready.
Is that what we should
and
do?
It shows. No, I'm not saying this is not a statement on our program.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that there's it's not, I can't say, tune in every day or every week or every month. It's whenever they're comfortable with what they have. And it's always worth a listen. It's called This Week in Charles Bronson. And on every show, they discuss a different Charles Bronson film.
Mm-hmm.
It's Danny Getz and Eric Todd and usually a special guest.
Okay.
So check that out wherever you get your podcast.
But now, don't they also discuss this was from 1974, and here were some things going on in 1974?
More specific than that, the week this film was released, here's what was going on in the world.
Oh, like that point in time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, he gave us a couple of pins, and we had them on 2 shows ago.
Yeah, we wore them, and we meant to talk about them.
Yeah, we forgot.
And we completely forgot. So I want to make sure we give Eric a plug because it's a great show, and we think you'll enjoy it, especially if you enjoy this sort of thing. You like old guys talking about old movies. I mean, come on. So in that case, thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much, Chris. I think we did it.
Okay.
Askiwawa.
Askiwawa.
Well,
Tigers.
Eat 'em raw. We did it, sir.